Suman, ready for the slide? Hari Om. Welcome everyone.
I'm glad you have all decided to join in person. I think the experience is totally different, but welcome to those who are joining online as well. Swamiji has come here after 3 years now, and we all know why. I don't need to repeat that. So we are in for a treat for the next 5 days. Tomorrow morning lectures will start tomorrow morning, and both morning and evening will conclude on Friday. Just as a reminder that COVID is still with us, so please. Sumant, can you put the slide up again, please? So we request you all to please follow the guidelines and wear masks whenever possible. If you have any symptoms of COVID, or if you have traveled from an area where there is some issues, so please refrain from coming to the ashram. We don't want to, for our own safety and for the safety of others. I think for the masking, that should be required for all of us. And now I will ask Smanvita, is that correct? Sorry, to do the invocation. Thank you. Smanvita is a Balvihar a child and a very accomplished singer. And she is an up and coming star of the Chinmaya mission.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakotisama Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Svakiyasvamyam Vande Kamarupine Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu me sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sa
These things are made for ladies who wear high heels, but we'll try. Hari Om, so I was asked to introduce Swamiji. And I don't know how to do it because most of the people know more about him than I do. But let me try. Swami Ishwarananda is the senior resident Swami of Chinmaya Mission LA, that we all know. And at the same time, he carries the board position in the board of CMW. CMW stands for Chinmaya Mission West, the body that's managing and governing all the guidelines and activities of North America. So our advantage is that when even though LA seems to be far away from us, whenever we need to find out about the latest programs or decisions of the board, what we do, we dial Swamiji's number because he's always best informed, and what it requires just one phone call, and we are online when we need to be. And more phone calls are coming because we often ask Swamiji, ask him his guidance, and answering questions that are lingering here in Toronto about various topics. And here I must say the two aspects that we most often need to get clarification is some of the issues of Sanskrit or the deep aspects of the how we call it, of the there's not a technology, but stuff of old stuff that we do for various protocols of programs, and more so the spiritual aspects of it. And as I said, we are lucky to be just one phone call away. And whenever we contact Swamiji, he always offers inspiring ideas, especially regarding those subtle aspects of the culture. And this is where Swamiji's strength is. He has taught the Brahmachari course. So all those little details he has at the tips of his fingers. And if you are interested, if anybody is interested about this stuff, please go to the bookstore because there's plenty of Swamiji's books, and he brings those things in such a beautiful, simple way that we can always be sure that whatever we do regarding the traditions, we do the way it needs to be done. I met Swami Ishwarananda as a Brahmachari Someshwar at the first Mahasamadhi camp. I believe it was 1994, wasn't it?
96.
Okay. Since then, he has been at Shivalaya many times, bringing with him plenty of fresh, inspiring ideas every time he comes. Each yajna, he brought with him a different ways of looking at the practical aspects of Vedanta, so we can apply them into a daily activity, daily life right away. And he would pack them in such a way that we never knew what to expect. But he would, when leaving, he would always bring with him and leave it behind the beautiful, strong way of inspiration. The real treats of those yajnas were retreats that we had on Saturdays. And then each one of us who attended them carries it deeply in our hearts. The one day when we were emerged in the spiritual air, the presence of the Shruti, learning, discussing, questioning, and we keep those, I call them retreats. We keep those memories as the beautiful aspects that we, even in the 21st century, we can experience as the mini gurukuls. So this is something that we cherish and hope for. This time, unfortunately, we cannot do it, but we'll keep it for future. Still, this yajna, even without a retreat, awaits a real treat for us. Morning sessions are on of this yajna are on meditation from Upanishads, and Swamiji will be doing the guided meditation. Evening lecture is going to be Vedanta Chintanam, which is a very sweet, wonderful book of Guruji. And if we want to translate the word Vedanta Chintana, it is practical aspects of Vedanta. So actually, there's no point of me being here anymore. Without ado, I'll pass the mic to Swamiji, so we don't waste this time. Swami, do pull something is coming. Pull one of his wonderful ideas that everybody will carry and know. I got it from Swami Ishwarananda in 1992. Okay.
But before that, an important part of the business. Before I announce and invite the sponsors of today, I'd like to elaborate a little bit on sponsorship. As everyone knows, in Chinmaya Mission, lectures are always given free, but obviously there are expenses involved in running this Shivalaya year-round. And one of the ways we raise funds is through people sponsoring the yajnas like this. So I encourage everyone to sponsor at least one day of the yajna. You can give your name to either Vijaya or myself, and we hope to see you this time and in future yajnas. So if we can sponsor that, we will all be very grateful. So today's sponsor, the first is Rovita and Surendra with Nayana. Rovita and Surendra have been sponsoring every yajna for quite some time, as I can remember. So Rovita, please. Surendra, please come forward and light the diya. Thank you. Next is Sunil and Meeta Vij. And those of you who don't know, Sunil has recently joined the board of Chinmaya Mission Toronto as the treasurer. So please welcome Sunil and Meeta Vij. Our third sponsor of the day is not here today, but they are known to all of us. They are our regular devotees and sponsors, Kuldeep and Neena Dev. I will ask Swamiji to please light a lamp on their behalf.
Hari Om. Can you hear me? We'll start with a small bhajan. Sing loud. Rama Rama Sita Rama Ramachandra Pahi Mam Ram Govinda Hare Pahi Mam Rama Rama Sita Rama Ramachandra Pahi Mam Rama Krishna Govinda Krishna Govinda Hare Pahi Mam Krishna Krishna Gopala Vasudeva Pahi Mam Krishna Krishna Gopala वासुदेव पाहि माम् रामकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे पाहि माम् राम 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 सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम राम जय जय राम जय सिया राम जय जय राम रघुपति राम जय जय राम सीता राम जय जय राम राजा राम जय जय राम सीता राम जय जय राम हनुमत राम ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. I'm very glad to be back after 3 or 4 years. I hope you also are happy to see me. Some of you, I don't know whether you're smiling or not. It's all covered. You have to discover your happiness. In life, situations are unpredictable. That is very evident when we faced calamity of unprecedented nature in the past 2-3 years. We never expected that we will not be even allowed to go outside our home. It is said that during the time when they had the Second World War, I do not know how many of us were there experiencing that. Amma, you were? Okay, Poland especially. Everything shut down. People who were born after that would not have experienced such a crisis. So it is a sample given to us what happens when global crisis happens. And we know how our daily life gets disturbed by such global situations. It's not a particular country's economy or politics or policies, but it's a global crisis. And the ill effects of that continues for decades. We never thought that we will have to stay distant from our others. Social distancing. But we have got the sample of it. And thus, therefore, it's very evident life is unpredictable. If everything happens the way we want, we will become too arrogant. Bhagavan is always there to tell you, not always things will happen the way you want. And we come to realize how much ever we plan, how much ever we get prepared also, there are things that are there, out there, which can disturb everything. That only makes us aware, do the best, leave the rest. Gurudev always said that. Do what you can and accept what you cannot. That is karma yoga, isn't it? Do your best. Whatever result comes, accept it. And do better next time. So here we understand the very nature or philosophical nature of Hinduism is accept situations without complaints and rise up in every situation. Do not lie down there. For the similar crisis that may come up, you must be ready, prepared to the extent possible. That requires you to think. That requires all of us to think correctly. That is what is called Chintanam. In Sanskrit, there are two words you should understand. Chintanam and Chinta. Chinta is worry. Chintanam is thinking. Most people are very familiar with Chinta. I'm worried. I'm worried about the future of my child. I'm worried about the health of my son or daughter or husband. I'm worried about the economy. There is plenty of things in this world that we can worry about. But if only we can replace this Chinta with Chintanam, then we are better off. Vedanta's very substratum of Vedanta is thinking. You become a king by thinking. But we don't think. We always worry. Gurudev said, life is a tragedy for those who don't think. Life is a comedy for those who do. Because in our own personal observation, we see nothing remains the same. Everything is subject to change. I have not come here for 3-4 years. You are all changed. I also have changed according to you, right? Some people say, Swamiji, you look better. That means what? I was worse before. You are indirectly indicating that actually. You were intolerable before, now it's okay. Nowadays you are looking good. What does it mean? If you were to say somebody like that, nowadays you are looking good. So we all change. The question is, we are changing for the better or the worse? Not according to others. Do not ever take somebody else's opinion as a fact. That's the worst thing that you do to yourself. Do not wait for the world's opinion to become better. Self-observation is very essential. In your own estimate, who you were, who you in the past were, and what you are right now. This honest self-analysis alone can pave way for personal growth. And Vedanta is a guide to tell you how to evaluate yourself. And at the same time, this evaluation is only for self-analysis. Don't apply it on others. According to Vedanta, you never improve. Don't do that. Not even to your spouse. So it is for self-observation. And after all, Vedanta is not about a particular concept or God, as so to say. It is about discovering the divinity within yourself. External forms and worship are helpful means to do that. Those who did not understand this became fanatics in all religions. They held on to a particular idea, ideology, or form, or religious beliefs, and become hateful of all others. Never they ever improve because of that. Whether it is in Hinduism or any other religion for that matter. So Vedanta is about discovering your own nature, and which is a continuous process. Swami Tejomayanji, our Guruji, would say, spirituality is work in progress. Constantly working on that. You can never say, I reached there. You can never say that. It's a constant self-discovering process. So in this textbook, which we are going to see every evening from today for 5 days, 5 evenings, Even though this text can stretch up to 10-15 days of lecture, but I'm going to restrict it. Because many times when I take the text and I cannot complete, it says, so Swamiji, what do we do? I will come next year. Not for making sure that I come next year. That is not the point here. But there's so much stuff involved in this. So I have decided that I'll complete it because next year we don't know. Not that I'm predicting some another COVID thing. But let me complete it in this 5 days itself. So in these 28 verses, our Guruji, out of his own personal experience of understanding this philosophy of Vedanta, abridged version of Vedanta is given here. This is not going to be a serious text. Okay? It's not going in deep into Mahavakyas and things like that. No. How to prepare yourself to think. Because that is the last thing that we do. We live a reactive life, not a responsible life. We keep on reacting to situations without thinking, because that's what you did yesterday and you do today also. If only you stop, pass and think, why should I do the same way which I did yesterday? Why not I change it? Then you're thinking. Some people tell me, see, I am having 2 classes on Sundays for Balvihar adults, meaning Balvihar parents, not adults. So one session in the morning at 8:30 and second session at 11:30, same subject. So somebody asked me this question, so you are handling the same subject both at 8:30 and 11:30? Yes. I said 8:30 session is live because we webcast also. It's a live session, meaning people come and it's live. Second session, lively. Because what I said at 9:30, I improve upon it in 11:30. So some people who attend both, they say, this is not what you said in the morning. Yes, because I thought about it. Those who think alone grow. What I did in the morning need not be repeated in the same day. Why? I can think and change it. How many of us do that? Many of the women who cook for me say that, Swamiji, I improved on the food and testing on you. If it is good, I will give it to my family. I become a scapegoat for them. That's why I always pray before I eat food. I asked yesterday one boy, I was praying before the food and I asked, he was standing there. Then why are you not praying? I'm sure about my mother's food. I don't need to pray. But everything begins with a prayer in our tradition, so we'll start with a prayer. First verse, page 7. Those who have the book, please look into the book. Books are available also, right? Please buy. Sri Ramaya Namastubhyam Kripaya Tava Shakyate Sukhena Bhyasitum Labdam Jnanam Dainika Jivane. Shri Ramaya Namastubhyam Kripaya Tava Shakyate Sukhena Bhyasitum Labdam Jnanam Dainika Jivane. Namaha Tubhyam Sri Ramaya. Salutations to Sri Rama. And when we do salutations to anyone, if I say Hari Om to you, You also say Hari Om. And again I say Hari Om. Then you wonder, what does he want now? So when we overdo anything, somebody will have a doubt. Bhagavan also says, why do you want to, every day you want to pray to me? We always go to Bhagavan and pray too much when we want something. Correct? When we have no immediate desire to be fulfilled, that's all. When you do prostration 23 times, something wrong. You go to some temples in, let's say, in South. The Guru Ayur temple, if you go, Narayana, 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 Narayana. People stand in front of God, Narayana, Narayana. Actually, there's a list going on there. I want this, I want this, I want this. Every time you say Narayana, one list is out. That's it. That is done. One lady did Narayana, and she went and again she came back. Forgot certain items. So here very clearly is stating the purpose. Ramaya Tubhyam Namaha. Why you are doing prayer? Since we are embarking on learning something which will improve us, it is said here, Dainika Jivane Labdham Jnanam Sukhena Abhyasitum Tava Kripaya Shakyate. Labdham Jnanam. Knowledge I have already gained, Tava Kripaya, by your grace, Dainika Jivane, in daily life, Abhyasitum, to practice, Shakyate, possible. Knowledge is useful only when you practice. You have knowledge, but you never put into action. What use is that? I know, but I don't see it. I don't see the effect of your knowledge. So knowledge is useful only when it comes to your daily life, as a part of your life. That's called jnana abhyas, practice of knowledge. But even the practice of knowledge is not possible without the grace of God. Because there are so many obstacles and impediments would come in our life, and that would not allow us to practice what we know. Many people say this, Swamiji, I want to practice Vedanta. Okay. Samay nahi mil raha hai. Time is not available. आप टीवी देख रहे हो, हाँ, छोड़ दो उसको. Browsing कर रहे हो, हाँ, छोड़ दो उसको. Unnecessarily gossiping over the phone, stop that. Swamiji, that is not possible. Why? See, certain things when do you get time to do anything unless you give up what you have been doing unnecessarily? 24 hours is the same for everyone. And you have filled yourself packed with 24 hours doing this and that. Obviously, you will not find time. Therefore, what you should do, find out what you need not do. Leave it. And then do something which is new and useful. See, when you are working at one level in your organization and you are made to or promoted to the next level, let us say you have been a particular level and then you're manager. Who is a manager? Who gives job to others and he doesn't do anything. Managing others. But that is also a responsibility, making sure others are doing what they are supposed to do. That's why nowadays, I am a project manager. What do you do? Meeting. Why meeting? Because I make sure that my group who is working under me know what they are doing. I have to make sure that they have the correct information. So when you are a mere worker, you are busy doing things. When you raise up to the next level, you make sure others are doing. Correct? That is called growth. You move in your responsibility to the higher level. In the same way, Vedanta, when you study, how do you practice? Give up what you are doing unnecessarily. That is the real abhyas. So for that, I need to have the grace of the Lord to make me clearly know what I need to do, what I need to let go. Therefore, it is said, Tava kripaya labdham jnanam abhyasitum dainika jivane, in daily life, shakyate, possible. Sri Ramaya namastubhyam kripaya tava shakyate. Sukhena, easily, effortlessly, sukhena bhyasitum shakya labdam jnanam dainika jivane. And anything you take up to do, don't do it once in a while. Swamiji, I do yoga. When? Once in 10 days. Do you think that will work? Huh? Anything that you have to do, you have to make it as a daily routine. I'm a great devotee of Shiva, Yeah. When do you do the puja? Once a month. That doesn't help. Monday I become Shiva devotee. Or only on Shivaratri I become a Shiva devotee. Then what happens? If you are real devotee, if you are real upasaka of the Lord, you need not have to push yourself to do that. Like you have the hunger and thirst, which you immediately fulfill as soon as it happens, so should be your love for the Lord, should be fulfilled without even thinking about it. Puja karna hai. Don't do that way. Do it with joy. Don't do it as a commitment or a duty. No, it is a part of my life, everyday life. I don't need to think about it also. Sukhena abhyasitum shakyam. This spontaneous practice of knowledge alone can make us able to abide in the higher self. For Vedanta is that which is indicating a means to be you, to go back to your own being. That's what Gurudev used to say, Hari home. Go back to your real abode, home. There should not be any effort. Sukhena abhyasitum labdam jnanam dainika jivane. Daily life should be, we should be able to practice this knowledge. And for that, Sri Rama. And Rama is the best example. When he knew what is his, he even asked a question about it. When he was told that you have to go to the forest according to your dad, even Dasharatha did not utter a word, as you all know. Did he say to Rama, you should go to the forest? Did he? Did Kausalya say that? Did Lakshmana say that? Sita said that? Minister said that? Rishi said that? Guru said that? No. Kaikeyi said that. And Kaikeyi said, this is what your father wants. He didn't even ask a question. Morning he was told that he was going to be a king. But the same night he was told, you have to get out. And he had absolutely no regrets about it. Okay, that's my dharma, to abide by my daddy's, my father's words. That's spontaneously good. We are struggling to be good. His love for his own brothers, mothers, even known, unknown people, was not a struggle for him at all. To be good to others, he did not have to put any effort. That is what is called jnana abhyas. Practice of knowledge should eventually become a spontaneous expression. If there is a good singer or a good vocalist, or somebody is good in any particular skill, if you see that person performing on the stage or doing something, when he finishes, we clap, right? What does it mean? Are you clapping for that performance or clapping for that effort that went into that performance? Tell me. That person had put enough time and effort to come to that point. You would not have seen that. And when he or she very spontaneously engages in that performance so well, you know it would not have been possible without so much of time spent on this. In the same way, Sri Rama is effortlessly good. That is because he has been doing that Chintanam, thinking about it. The life of contemplation. It's not a physical exertion. It's a engagement of the mind in thinking what is right. And therefore, when the situations arise, you don't need to think at that time. Continuing, Vedanta darshanam shuddham pratyakshanubhavam param sarvada yenu tishtanti prapyate tairdruvam padam. Vedanta darshanam shuddham pratyakshanubhavam param sarvada yenu tishtanti prapyate tairdruvam padam. Vedanta darshanam shuddham param pratyaksha anubhavam. In our Hindu tradition, philosophy is called darshan, a vision, picturization. Vedanta is a darshan, a vision of life, not television. Vision of life. How to understand what is life after all? As Gurudev would put it, life is series of experiences. If you ask a person who had had only very tragic experiences in life, you ask that person, how is life? Such a tragedy. Why? His idea of life is decided by what he has experienced so far. Whereas a person who had pleasant experiences mostly in his life, such a person, you ask, how is life? Great. What is Vedanta darshan? Vedanta darshan is, from the standpoint of Vedanta, how do you look at your experience? How do you perceive your life? Do you perceive your life nothing but birth and death? then obviously you will be living a very, very unhappy life. Why? Anyway, everything is going to die. What is the point? Everything is predetermined. Fatalistic view. Fatalistic or fatalistic. Everything is decided by the fate. What is that I have to do with now? Such people will have no interest in living. Proactively, they cannot live. There is no free will. So Vedanta darshanam is that which is param, supreme, pratyaksha anubhavam. It is experienced in person, pratyaksha, evidently, and shuddham, pure. Vedanta darshanam shuddham pratyakshanubhavam param. Ye sarvada anutishtanti. Those who are able to abide by this vision, taihi, by them, dhruvam padam prapyate. They obtain the highest abode. Gurudev always said, keep your goal so high, you will never reach it. If you are having a goal which is reachable by simple effort, after that you get bored. Ye to mil gaya, so now abhi kya karenge? Keep your goal so high that it will take the whole life for you to reach there, or lives to reach there. That's why I said work in progress constantly. And that is why it is called param, shuddham, pratyakshanubhavam. Vedanta clearly points out your own life will tell you whether you are moving ahead or not. As I said, nobody else need to tell you. If you get upset and angry about a particular thing, and after 1 year also you do the same thing, even the people around you will know. Nothing changed in you. Huh? 5 years back also you're like this. Now also you're like this. You know, it so happened few years back. I hope those who I'm referring to are not listening to this. My own college friends, I met them after 30 years, 30. I was so excited to see them. I presume they also were excited to see me. And oh, you become a Swami. And then I went to their house. By the time he has already married, obviously, and he had his children also married. So I saw all of them, and then so we sat down, recollected our, old college days. Because I've not talked to them for so long. I met them through Facebook. They were all over the place. So finally we met, and then so we. So I said, let me get going. After spending an hour or two, so I came down. They were in an apartment complex. I came down. So as soon as we came down, I was waiting for my ride. And then both of them, two of them whom I'm very close to, picked up their cigarette. I said, I will stay far away from you. This is what I did at the time also. And told them from a distance, you never changed. Still doing the same thing? They smiled and said, you also did not change. You also did the same thing. Movie went away. The joke, it is so hard. What I saw them 30 years back, exactly in my mind. Same thing. So 30 years back, habits are so strongly embedded in our lives that we are not even questioning them. Vedanta darshan is that which makes you question your own behavior, your own reactions, your own idea about life. Is it not true in Gita also, when Arjuna stood there and crying about it? Is it not to begin with? What are you talking? Like a eunuch? Klaibyam asmagamappat. Na edatvai upapadyate. Kshudram hridaya dhaurbalyam taktva uttishta parantapa. Like a eunuch? Weak-hearted? Think. The thing you are worrying about, something you should not worry about. So unless we get the perception of life, we never change. We just repeat what we do and simply imitate others around us. So satsanga, study of scriptures, and meeting people who are in the path of correct knowledge would give you a different perception of life, priority of life. Until that is gained, we will never change anything. So Vedanta darshanam pratyaksha anubhavam. It is a immediate experience of one's own personal growth, than param, highest. Sarvada, always, those people, anutishkanti, they practice, taihi, by them, dhruvam padam prapyate. The highest, unchanging abode will be available. Don't we ask for something permanent all the time? Any one of you say, if I ask you, do you want to be happy? What do you say? All of you. Anybody who wants not to be happy? Everybody would say yes, yes, yes. When? Now. How long? Always. What do you say? Morning 10 o'clock. Always I want to be happy. That is the motive of everybody. Ye anutishtanti taihi dhruvam prapyate. That unchanging permanent joy is available. After all, Vedanta should lead us to a better happy state, right? You don't say that, I'm practicing Vedanta, I don't know how long. That is actually what attracted me to Gurudev. At the age of 70, he was jumping like a young boy, full of bliss. You go to a doctor and who is coughing all the time, will you go there? Or go to a dentist who doesn't have a teeth? At least the artificial teeth he has to put and show off to people that my teeth is good. So a Mahatma who has reached the highest must be full of bliss. That's why I always say we are given that Ananda as the name, Ishwarananda, Tejomaya Ananda. We are not Ishwara Dukhi, Tejomaya Dukhi. आनंद होना चाहिए इस बात, in this path. साधना आनंद के लिए कर रहे हो तो आनंद में करो. If you are doing this sadhana for joy, do it joyfully. Don't drag yourself. So, ye anutishtanti, those who follow it carefully, and you are out of your own willingness you are doing. Nobody is forcing you to do. Do you sleep because others want you to sleep? Why don't you sleep? No, it is a natural thing that my body needs rest. In the same way, my soul needs a final rest. Where does it rest? Of course, it will rest. Some people, ask me this question. Swamiji, when somebody dies, why do they say rest in peace? I say he went. Rest people are peaceful. Rest of them are peaceful. That's what it means. Rest in peace. Where does the soul rest? Because the physical body had been giving trouble to that person. Now this is given up that physical body. The soul must be at rest. But while living, where does our own being rest? It should rest in a place where it finds the permanent joy. So the sadhana should be done with great joy, because you are going to the abode of joy. Continuing, nahankaro mano buddhihi deho naham katachana iti vedanta vakyasya bhavaschintya punah punah nahankaro mano buddhihi deho naham kadachana iti vedanta vakyasya bhavaschintya punah punah. Punah punah chintya, to be thought of. Chintanam karaniyaha, to be thought of. What? Punah punah, again and again and again. What we need to think about? Vedanta vakyasya bhavaha. The very essence of Vedanta vakya, the statement of Vedanta, the import of Vedanta. And what is that it says? Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham na cha srotra jihve na cha grana netre. We sing with all the, fine raga and all, but we don't never think about it. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. We are only focusing on the raga, but never become viraga. If you're saying mana buddhi ahankara chitta naham, what does it mean? मैं देह नहीं हूं, मन नहीं हूं, बुद्धि नहीं हूं. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. But do we really mean it? Na ahankaraha manaha buddhihi dehaha kadachanana. Swamiji, it is so difficult to give up all these things. Give up the idea that I am body or mind. Arey Baba, every day you do it. In another 2 hours you do it. Some of you have already done it. Sitting here only. Right? Those who are doing, they cannot respond now. They are already in that condition. They are nodding with me. Is it not every day you give up your body? Do you or not? Are you regretting for that? Happily you give up. Without anybody telling you. Mind, you give up. Buddhi, you give up. Ahankar, you give up. So why you think that is difficult? Swamiji, do you mean to say we all go to sleep? Yes, consciously. Unconsciously don't do that. When we unconsciously give up this notion, I am the body, mind, etc., that is called sleep. When you consciously give up, it is called samadhi, deep meditation. Because your body is tired and therefore you lie down and sleep, that is sushupti. See, I'll give you an example. If I don't like something and I give up, that is not vairagya. You accept? You give me eggplant, you keep it in front of me, I don't touch it. Parama vairagya. Why? I don't like it. But if you give rasagulla in front of me, and then I say I don't want it, that is vairagya. Because I have a raga and I am not taking it, that is called vairagya. You understand? Rag hai, फिर भी मैं क्या कर रहा हूं? Once I took some people to, every year I take some people to various Kshetra pilgrimage. So once I took a group of people, and when we go to the Banaras, Kashi, you have to give up something. Right? And then you should not pick it up for the rest of your life. So I told all of them, give up something. So everybody is ready to give up something which they don't like. No. You have to give up something which you like. So one person came to me and said, how about my wife? I said, what you like? Oh yeah, correct. So one lady came to me and said, I'm giving up tea, chai. I like it so much, but I give up. Very good. There is some mantra you have to chant, and then the Purohit will do the particular procedure. She did that. And next morning, I saw her drinking tea. I said, you said you did the mantra and procedure to give up chai, evening chai. See how intelligent we are. So जिसमें राग है उसको छोड़ना वो वैराग्य है. Don't give up something which you don't like anyways. Good that I gave up. Anyway, I don't want it. So मन से हमारा उतना अहंकार है, मन से इतना, this much of identification, तादात्म्य है, in body, in the mind, in our intellect, in our ego, so much we are so proud of it, identified with that. But even that we give up. Why? Think about it. Why do you give up your identity with body, mind and intellect, everything when you go to sleep? क्योंकि वो आनंद में इतना सुख है, isn't it? In that sleep, you have so much of joy. To acquire that joy of sleep, ready to give up everything every day. Until you discover the same joy in consciously giving up your identification with the body, mind, etc. Until then, you will not. The marga for that is what is called meditation, or that practice. Sukam atyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam atindriyam veti yatra nacha evayam stitaha chalati na tattvataha. Bhagavan Krishna says, Sukam atyantikam. Uska ant nahi hai. Uska adi bhi nahi hai. That joy which has no beginning or end. That joy when you discover in the state of samadhi or meditation, then you realize consciously you can let go. In that letting go, you have no regrets. Nahankaro mano buddhihi deho naham katachana. Idi vedanta vakyasya bhavaschintya punah punah. Again. This is the bhava. This is the import of Vedanta. Swamiji, this is why I don't come to this satsanga. Every time when I come, give up, give up, give up. Why do you have to give up? I give up coming here. Don't do that tomorrow. I decided to give up your talk also. Finished. See, giving up is not physically rejecting it. It is mental association with that is what you have to give up. We associate in our mind that object or a being from which we derive joy. And that is why we are holding on to it. If you are not deriving joy out of a thing, we will not hold on to it. That which is constantly giving you pain, are you holding on to it? No. What you are keeping close to you is that from which you are deriving some kind of a pleasure. As Bhagavan Krishna would say, Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya. It's only because of in touch with that. Sidoshna Sukha Dukkadaha. They are givers of experience of Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkam. Heat, cold, joy, sorrow. You must understand as Agama Apayina Anityaha. They are not permanent. What gives you joy today may not give the same joy tomorrow. What gives you sorrow today is not the same one which gives sorrow tomorrow. What gives joy at one condition, it would not give in another condition. This you must realize. It doesn't mean that you should physically get rid of it, but watch and understand that does not have permanent joy at all. Even while experiencing, you must keep that in mind. Therefore, even as it is no more available to you, you have absolutely no regret for it. Let it be. See, if I'm using fire for cooking, I know for which it is used. Right? Fire is necessary for cooking. And you use it for that and leave it. Don't say, my dear fire, you're so good to me. Let me embrace you. How stupid that is. Similarly, this physical body has a purpose. Don't say that I don't want the physical body anymore. This physical body is given to me as a human being. I got the human body for a purpose. What is that? With this physical body as a human being alone, I am capable of performing my sadhana. Physical body of a human being, much evolved than all others. This physical body is necessary for the soul to continue its journey. So, to that extent, this physical body is necessary for us to keep going, keep it healthy, keep it active, keep it agile, useful, flexible, productive. मैं महात्मा हूं, ये छोड़ रहा हूं. If you don't take care of it, it will trouble you more. Is it not true? And it will become a problem for you to further live. So be intelligent when you are saying, मैं इसमें वैराग्य हूं. What does it mean? I use it for the purpose only, not beyond that. That is called intelligent living. The misunderstanding is, in Vedanta में सबको छोड़ने के लिए कहा. Means what? Don't take care of the body. Mental association, attachment to this should be given up, not the taking care of this. And this is a vehicle. Like if you are going for a long journey, obviously you fine-tune your vehicle. Don't you? If you're using only for 2 roads, your half is going and coming, less maintenance. If you're going for a long journey, then you have to necessarily make sure that your vehicle is in finest condition. Similarly, this physical body is meant for a long journey. Make sure that this is very well tuned. That is where yoga and all comes in. To fine tune this body so that you will as much as possible, healthily live so that it gives minimum disturbance to you. So physical, physiological, psychological, intellectual, all layers of your personality must be as much fine-tuned as possible so that this does not disturb you. So when it is said, na buddhi, manaha, na hankaraha, na deha, does not mean reject it. So that is what is called correct understanding. Don't hastily conclude. We'll see more of that. Oh, 9:15 tak hai na? I thought only 9 o'clock. Idi Vedanta Vakyasya Bhavaha. This is correct understanding. Eshamatmatmatram hi. Tomorrow onwards, you have to put the possible. Hello, technical guys. They're in deep there. Hello. Tomorrow, if you can, put the PDF of this. It will be easier for people, those who don't have a book, to see it. Possible? Or I think I may have the PDF version. I'll send it. Teshamatmatva matram hi nirastamiha nastita yojaniyascha tasmate vyavahare vivekatah Brahmi nirastamiha nastita yojaniyascha tasmate vyavahare vivekatah. This is the point here. Vyavahare, vyavahara bhumau. In this transactional world, vivekatah. Why it became small now? Anyway, vivekatah. Viveka buddhya. With proper discrimination, yojaniya, to be engaged. Tasma, therefore, they have to be engaged with proper discrimination in this world during the transactional experiences. What? Tesham atmatva bhavam hi nirastam. Thinking that this alone am I, that you should give up. Na astita. Don't say, I'm not the body. Don't say, I'm not the body. You say, I'm not only the body. This body I am. Who can deny that? This alone I am. Let me ask you this question. Are you a son or a father? Both? How can you be both? Depends. That's called transactional world. Vyavahara bhumi is what? With respect to my son, I am father. With respect to my father, I am son. So who are you? Both. Are you the body? Yes and no. Meaning, I am the body when I am dealing with people. I'm not a ghost. Thank God, even though I look like one. When I am, people who are dealing with me are what? Dealing with what? What is your height? If somebody asks me this question in my doctor's clinic, what is my height? Urdhvamulamadash. I am tall as the sky. What is your date of birth? Ajo bisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaro bisan. I'm unborn. Physical body, yes, that's what people see me as. This alone I'm not. Astita nirastamiha. Its existence should not be denied. Na manaha aham. Then you should not be thinking. No feeling. Na buddhi aham. Oh, that I know anyways. Buddhu hai, buddhini. So don't say that. I am not my intellect alone. I'm not my mind alone. I'm not my body alone. They are there. But beyond them, I am. How do you know? Come to me when I'm sleeping. When I call you when you're sleeping, would you respond? Hello, are you sleeping? Yes. Then you're not sleeping, for sure. You cannot respond to me when you're sleeping because you are not at the level of your physical body or the mind or buddhi or ahankar. Therefore, you don't respond to me. Doesn't mean you don't exist. I do exist without any one of them, identified with any one of them. Sana buddhihi na deha. What does it mean? I am not stuck to that. I am not only this. That's why Bhagavan said, Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptihi dhiraha tatra namukyati. The body has gone through all that various conditions. Kaumaram, yavvanam, jara, child, teenager, old age. Tata deha prapti. Beyond the body also. Physical body is given up after it became old, and then I take up the next one. Dhiraha tatra na mukhyati. Therefore, a man of knowledge does not have it worried about. He doesn't have about the condition of the body, but while transacting in the world, I am the physical body. So what? I know that I'm beyond that as well. Just like a person who is playing a particular role in a stage where he's acting as a beggar, he very clearly knows I'm not the beggar. Correct or not? If he thinks he's a beggar, then there's a problem. Because beyond the stage, after he gets out, also he behaves like a beggar. What do you call him then? You should remove your vesha. You have played a role, no doubt. So when I am with the people, physical being, I am the physical body. That's what people see me as. But that alone am I not. I'm not. So here it therefore very clearly said, Tesham atmatva bhavam ki nirastamiha na astita. Atmatva bhavam. This is me alone. This alone am I. That should be given up, not its existence. Yojaniyascha tasmat. Tasmat, therefore, this way you should think and engage. Vyavahare, in this world of transaction, vivekata. This is called thinking. Vivekajanita jnanam eva dhruvam bhavati. Knowledge born out of your own thinking alone will stay with you. Shrutam jnanam na vivechitam. That knowledge which you have not thought about doesn't stay. So at the end of today's session, you should go back home and take a note, take a small paper or pad, write down what you have understood out of this 1 hour or so talk. That alone will stay with you. Otherwise, tomorrow, fresh slate. I asked people, last time when I came, what did I speak on? Pata nahi. Aapko bhi nahi malum hai. You also don't know. Just do that exercise. Today, before you go to bed, take it down. What are the things Swamiji is saying? Out of your own mind. Don't look at the book. I'm sure after having listened 1 hour, 1.5 hours, whatever it is, you will put 2 lines there. Swami said, I'm not the body. That's what I think. At least that much. That alone would stay. See, whatever you think and understand and digest alone will remain. Otherwise, as Gurudev would say, it's a cross ventilation. Finished. By the time you step outside the hall, over. Swamiji, what did I say? I ask you, what did I say today? You spoke a lot, I think. 3 minutes extra than given time. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, right, 10, we will have 1 hour session on meditation from Upanishads. Those who are able to come, please join us.
Thank you, Swamiji. At the end, what Swamiji said about thinking about what was in the lecture today, even if you can come up with 1 or 2 things,